Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In a minute, we will commencing the conference. All the participants in and outside, please take your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us begin the International Robot and Untech Conference 2020. I'm your MC today. I'm from Loja Bridge. My name is Kim Dong-min, journalist. First, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the participants who took out their precious time to attend this conference. We are broadcasting this conference across the globe, and the title of this session is Logistics. This is such a timely topic, and we invited great lecturers for this session, so I hope you found this session informative. Also, we prepare a professionalist, the panel discussion by experts, so please stay tuned or stay with us. And also, our staff members at your behind will distribute the brochure later for your information. So let us begin the first presentation by Mr. Lee Kyu-jin about DHL robots. The title of presentation is DPDHL Robot Introduction. Please welcome. I'd like to invite him to the stage. With a big round of applause, please welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Lee Kyu-jin from DHA Supply Korea. And I am honored to be here with you guys at the 2020 ROBOTWORLD, and I would like to express my gratitude to all the distinguished guests at this event. I would like to introduce how robots are used in our DHL group. My screen is ready, so let me start. In brief, what comes to your mind if you hear DHL? The official name is DPDHL. The reason we call DPDHL group will be explained later on. Briefly, let me introduce the DPDHL group. It stands for Deutsche Post DHL Group. When we first started our business, we started in the US, but in 2000s, we had a collaboration and merged by the Deutsche Post. That is why we changed our group name. We have some elements to compose this DHL corporate center, acting as headquarters. Under the corporate center, we have a Post E-commerce, Express, Global Forwarding, and Supply Chain Group. On top of that, we have a separate special organization called the DHL Customer Solution and Innovation, and another organization called the Global Business Service. DPHL, and we have about 380,000 workers, and among over 200 countries. We provide a service to over 200 countries, and we have about 1.6 billion parcels dealing each year. And before I introduce our robots, I would like to redefine a robot. You can define the robot in ways. First, you think of RoboCop or Iron Man or other types of a human-like robot, but in broader concept, I would like to say that the robot is a mechanic device that can automatically operate some work. Robots do some work for humans where humans cannot get access, carry out work that are simply repeated, boring, and unpleasant. And robots can also carry out some dangerous work for humans. And sometimes robots support humans when humans are carrying out hard work. And this is my definition of robot. Then let me show you some cases. But let's imagine at the logistics site, what kind of cases can you think of by utilizing robot? As you can see, drone, robot arms, there are many cases. In our DHL group, at a supply chain site, we have various cases. This has a lower resolution, but in the upper right corner, we have the yellow car. It's an autonomous driving car, and we have a robot arm in the picture. If you see in the middle at the bottom, and there's a wearable suit, it helps people load and unload parcels, and we have cases by utilizing robots. These innovative ideas are happening in DPDHL. Thanks to the Research Institute and our DPDH Innovation Center, it's all possible. And our innovation centers are located in each continent. First of all, as you can see, we have one in Europe, in Germany. In 2017, newly opened one in Chicago. Last, at the bottom, we have Asia Pacific Center located in Singapore Asian region. These innovation centers not only provide some R&D among workers, but have a collaboration with certain research centers and logistics experts. In our innovation center, they carry out various R&D activities, and that products become the implementation of our process. And this is newly innovated in Chicago, and I will introduce you that center in the video. Then, as you can see, we value innovation and investment in innovation at DPDL. But if you imagine in 1990s, we used to imagine some flying cars and some video conferences. So just like we imagined, various ideas became realized. To show you actual cases that become reality. What I'm showing you today, all the technologies and use cases are promoted on YouTube. So after the session today, if you want to revisit those videos, you can always search and Google on YouTube. First of all, it's called Parcel Copter 4.0. A lot of media has introduced our parcel copters. About 6 years ago, there was a big boom of drone. Drone started as a leisure gadget. However, we started to utilize it for our logistics, and we started to do R&D in 2010, and we launched 1.0 in 2013. And recently in 2018, we managed to roll out Parcel Copter 4.0. Usually we use this Parcel Copter in remote areas and some places with low accessibility, like in Africa. And I would like to briefly show you different versions. This is Parcel Copter 1.0. Promoted in media. It still has a lot of issues to improve. 2.0 managed to travel 1 kilometer, but that was. And after modifying, we study more on 2.0, and we improve more flying distance, and we improved that up to 12 kilometers. And the model now reaches some beach areas and remote areas with a low accessibility. Next one is Parcel Copter 3.0. The forms are changed a lot. We used to have 4 propellers, but now this is more close to regular planes. 3.0 can fly 8 kilometers, and some wind resistance and some environmental conditions have been improved. In 2018, finally, we rolled out Parcel Copter 4.0. You can easily some flight, and then this doesn't need a runway, and it can vertical and take off, and it's the requirement of space, and it can fly up to 65 kilometers. This is a bulky helicopter. It's about 1.7 meter tall. Then I would like to show you the actual case on site by utilizing Parcel Copter 4.0. Let's look at the video.
지금 보시는 것 탄자니아에서 활용되고 있는 파스코점형의 모습입니다.
If they cannot get them, it means they're gone. Especially in the areas that have got geographical challenges, like Ukerewe, which is at the midst of Lake Victoria.
We have about more than 400,000 people in Ukerewe district, and we face a number of diseases such as malaria, typhoid, schistosomiasis, and the like.
Kwa kuwa tuko kisini, kweli ikatokea bahati mbaya tukakoswa dawa kwa sababu tu hatuna uwezo wa kuvuka hiyo na kupa dawa.
We are responsible of distributing medicine in the Lake Victoria region. The last mile supply is so difficult because of the infrastructure. Our roads are still very poor, especially in rural area. We can go by lake, but the vessels in the lake, they are not reliable.
And you don't get the results on them. You don't get the necessary medicine. There is a threat of death. We thought of how we can improve the delivery of health supplies, especially to those hard-to-reach island areas.
So that's where the Parcel Copter come into play. The truck can overcome a number of challenges, especially the areas that are not really reachable.
Parcel Copter allow autonomously, and we see where drone is in case we can make any decision at the right time. The water technology gives the drone to go vertically and then change the body to transition mode.
They can land where you don't have runways. The technology itself is innovative in the sense that it really addresses challenges that we have in Tanzania.
There is a case by tetanus patient, we need a quick delivery. Not only bus helicopter will deliver commodities quickly, but in the cold chain.
Make sure the temperature is not compromised. Products will to the patient with the quality.
We design a meat, we upload the meat to the drone, we send autonomously to the place where we want to go, like we send from Enza to Ukerewe Islands.
Samples are collected in district hospital, and then on a weekly basis they are taken to Uganda Medical Center. But with the parcel project, they can be taken after every 2 or 3 months. They need to get the results as far as the patient without the treatment.
This opportunity to thank DHL, the GIZ, and the Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and the Wingcopter team. Rough times when it started, but now we see light at the end of the
mbele na ya baadaye. Nilikuwa naomba kitu kisije kikatoka kuwepo, sababu tusaidia sisi na wengine wanakuja pia, kwa hiyo kinakuwa hizi mkubwa.
If this can be carried throughout the country, that will be so.
This is a project that is going to save a lot of lives. Change the whole economy.
This is going to be a big achievement, an icebreaker into the drone technology in Tanzania and probably in Africa.
As you saw, we run all versions of parcel copters, particularly hard-to-reach areas need, and it requires a lot of traveling, while there are still a lot of detours, and then we have some challenges of heavy weights. So we focus on medicine delivery in particular at the moment, and we are constantly researching how we can expand this business. And let me move on to the next case. Next AI robot is called PostBot. I would like to explain while playing the video.
Roth hat einen neuen Kollegen. Erfolg der Briefträgerin aus Bad Hersfeld auf Schritt und Tritt.
자, 지금 보시는 것이
You
포스트봇이라고
can see
하는
this
인공지능
postbot in the
로봇입니다.
video. It's an
이 로봇
AI-based
같은
robot.
경우에는
If you look at this robot,
우편물 배달에 특화되어 있는
this is
제품이라고 보시면
specialized
됩니다.
for delivering
지금 저희
mails.
DPDHL이 앞서 설명드린 바와 같이
As I mentioned, DPDHL stands for Deutsche Post DHL. So DHL in Germany also carries out some postal services, and sometimes they deal with various cargo and freights. So imagine our postal service. Sometimes there are some areas that you can't reach by vehicles, and you have to deliver many things all at the same time. So it will be very inconvenient if you go back and forth to your truck to load and unload the parcels. If you look at this postbot, it uses a sensor, and the sensor tracks around the parcel and helps these mail carrier immediately deliver the parcels. You can load up to 160 kilograms onto the post box. And you can imagine we can save a lot of time and energy by the mail carriers. So you just saw postbot following around the mail carrier. How about postbot going into the building? And that's the next slide, showing evidence. This looks similar to postbot. Functions are similar, but evidence is not specialized in delivery, but specialized in cargo delivery.
Automation strategies are vital to warehousing and distribution operations. DHL is dedicated to offering a variety of automated systems to significantly increase efficiencies in customer operations. Now, DHL will lead the next wave of automation.
Within warehousing, order picking belongs to the most challenging tasks as the demands made on order picking systems continue to grow.
When employees pick orders manually, their carts become very heavy. High payloads
지금
of
보시는
orders
장면이 기존에 에피던스가 도입되기 전
This
픽업을
is
하기 위해
before
우리 직원들이
we
움직이는
introduced the
모습이고요.
evidence.
Together with Affidance, we are introducing a unique solution to support our employees in their daily work and to improve efficiencies within the picking process. Collaborative automated order picking is the next step in improving warehouse operations. Pickers will be supported by automated carts, taking care of most of the physical activity. These carts enable pickers to work without undue exertion. The picking cart follows the picker through the rack system. Before the cart reaches full capacity, the picker simply sends it to the drop-off location. Meanwhile, another picking cart joins the picker, ready to receive new items. The cart's advanced wayfinding routine assures an independent journey to its destination. Sensors make the cart aware of its vicinity and possible obstacles. Therefore, collisions are prevented and safety is increased. Furthermore, this solution makes a more efficient and ergonomic picking process possible and enables the switch from single order to multi-order picking.
Collaborative automated order picking is just one flexible solution that might fit into the world of logistics. We're just beginning to understand the magnitude of this impact. At DHL, we're prepared to innovate and navigate this road to the future of logistics. Along with our partners and customers, we're ready to take the front seat.
네, 지금
As you can see, once you have a certain volume, reached a certain volume, it goes to the next location and destination, and evidence keep following the workers. And we can drastically improve the human routes, and we can help these workers in an ergonomic context, so we can also prevent any damages. It just mentioned about picking, and let me introduce another picking technology. Next one is called the vision picking. Maybe you saw it before. You can imagine Google Glasses is for AR, and while we can improve the visibility, we can also improve the efficiency.
Technology has always played an integral part in further improving warehouse operations. With the rise of augmented reality, we're about to take a leap ahead. DHL and Ricoh have piloted vision picking to drive the next wave of supply chain innovation that simplifies operations.
Vision picking is essentially equipping pickers with smart glasses that enable complete hands-free order picking. Today, we're using a mix of handheld scanners and a paper pick list, but we think we can make this process leaner and also more user-friendly by taking a paper and hands-free approach.
Vision picking can greatly increase productivity, reduce errors, and support our employees in their daily work. To find the best solution, we teamed up with Ubimax, the leading experts on wearable computing. Their vision picking solution is the most mature and flexible on the market, and we're easily able to tailor this to our environment and deploy it on the Vuzix and Google glasses.
Now the picker can easily log in and begin picking by scanning the next available trolley.
화면 우측 상단에 나오는 작은 화면이 실제 사용자 눈에
You can
비치는
see
증강 현실이라고
the
보시면
actual
되겠습니다.
screen
지금
that
보시는
the
이 칸
users
같은
can see on
경우에는
the
제가
vision
끌고 다니는
picking.
뒤에 트롤리 또는
There's
그
a
카트,
trolley
이 칸을
or cart,
가시화해 놓은 것이라고
and the vision glass can show the availability of the cart and trolley. And the vision picking is actually guiding you where you can load the stuff in the right spot of the trolley. If you have less skilled workers, you can prevent some misloading, because sometimes they used to make mistake of loading in mass order. But even if this person is less skilled worker, this vision picking can improve efficiency. Next robot is called Hike Robot. Hike Robot is a specific brand name. It is not the technology. If you look at the product, you can see them a lot in different conferences and events. It's not a person to goods, it's goods to person. These goods are looking for people to be picked. If you look at this hike robot in Asia Pacific, we have an express hub in Shanghai where we actually carry out this hike robot. DHL의 아시아 태평양 센터 상하이에서 이 하이크 로봇을 사용하고 있습니다. 그리고 검사 작업에서 가장 정밀한 작업을 하는데 도움을 주고 있는 것이 바로 이 하이크 로봇입니다. 세계가 빠르게 변하고 있기 때문에 우리가 그 세계를 선도하는 그 산업으로서 굉장히 혁신적인 물류.
在国际快递领域，我们率先启用了 AGV 智能仓储解决方案，实现了查验快件全流程的自动查找和无人运输，极大地提高了我们作业的效率和质量，从而为我们的客户提供更加优质、更加便捷的服务。
The new generation hike robot AGV robots are equipped with a laser and a visual navigating.
자, 시간 관계상
Sorry, due to the time frame, let me stop the video. By using hike robot, we managed to increase of the work efficiency by 40%, and let's imagine instead of workers finding the wreck, it was only 48 cases available per hour, but by using hike robot, we increased that number up to 136 cases. The last one is called automated container unloading. Once we have a large and bulky stuff, this device helps the efficiency. I won't play the video too long. As you can see, this is the traditional unloading. They had a space issue and only 1 or 2 people had to go into the container, and they had to do it manually one by one, but now by using machine, we were able to improve the efficiency. This one you're looking at is the AI robot. We have the AI sensor in front of the machine, and it can recognize the type and the volume of the boxes and decide the unloading method. Instead of people putting an effort, we are able to improve the health and safety issues in ergonomic context. In DHL, we value diversity. Often in logistics centers, we have a lot of male workers, and they are mostly skilled and muscular people, and usually these centers prefer younger generations. But as you can see, we have some older generations and some female working in these center thanks to this technology, and they are the great contribution to DHL. I have a lot more technologies, but due to the time limit, that wraps up my case study. But you can imagine digital twin, Celvea, unlike the conveyor belt, and this is the innovation of the conveyor belt. We have a wearable robot arms as well, but in DHL, these technologies do not remain on the textbook. We continuously carry out the research to develop the technology. We invent technology. Other times, through M&A and collaboration, we purchase the technologies. But one thing for sure is that we never stop continuing the innovation and our R&D. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He talked about the application of logistic robots, and thank you so much for your good presentation. And Mr. Lee has other urgent schedule, so he can receive one question from the floor.
If anybody has question, it's a good time to present now to Mr. Lee. If no questions, we will move on to the next speaker. Thank you. Let's give him a big round of applause.
So let me move on to the second topic, Mr. Chan from 20. The topic of his presentation is the platform service for autonomous driving robots. Please welcome with a big round of applause. Also, as I said before, this is a live broadcasting conference, so if you have any question, you can leave the comment on each platform, and during the panel discussion, we will give answers to your question, and you can ask a question during the panel discussion as well. Hello everyone, as also introduced, I'm from 20. My name is Chun Hong-yi. It is my great pleasure to meet you. My company, 20. I'm going to introduce my company first and main business areas. 20 is the company that manufactures autonomous driving vehicles, especially for logistic purpose. 20 was founded by twin. The person on the right side is me, the person who is more handsome than the other person. The last handsome person here is Chun Young-seok, my brother. 20 was established in 2015, and under the umbrella of KAIST, I received a doctorate degree in robotic and AI. So I'm a jack of all trades. my brother has been working for the small and medium-sized enterprise promotion agency, and I talk him out so that he can join the foundation of my company. It has been 5 years since the foundation, but now we have 75 employees, and 30% of our employees has either master or doctorate degree from KAIST. So one product development requires this many expertise, which makes my company special. So we are armed with highly advanced technology. So we are making autonomous driving robots, and our main strength is the software. Last year, we joined this ROBOTWORLD conference, and we exhibited 2 products. And one product is this object tracking program called Darugo 100. Darugo means follow in Korean. So if you click the button, it follows a person. So it is like a pulse boat that was just introduced in the previous presentation, but we use different sensor. So I'm gonna talk about this in detail later. Another product we exhibit was another robot called Darugo 100. 100 means the load of capacity, so it can transport up to 100 kilo of object. So we have 100 version and 100 model as well. So let me first explain the Darugo. It literally follows an object. And sometimes an object has to carry something or wear a specific uniform, or shoot in a specific color, or attached with a specific tag to be followed. But my ROBOT20 does not require such preconditions. It can track and follow a specific person or object without any strings attached. So let me show you a video clip. On the left top video, we're twin. So we are wearing a same clothes and did a demonstration. And as this demonstration tells, robot is not confused and follow a designated person without problem. This is because we're showing the success cases, but we also face the failure as well. So unlike other robots, the confusion possibility is much lower and follows very well. So good performance, but not as good as human beings. If you see the video on the right bottom side, I turned on and off the light so that to see the effect of the light on the following. This kind of performance was possible because we used RGBT sensor whose cost is over $200. It is capable of collecting 3D data, including location and color data. So the color and location data are collected in a 3-dimensional way, and color distribution, size of each object, and shape of the object, and other two other information are collected to form a knowledge. And based on this knowledge, the robot follows an object. So the robot does not rely on specific color data, and that's why the robot can follow a specific designated person without any problem. I also have 2 videos filmed outdoor, one in night and one in day. If there is a very strong sunlight, the sensor do not function well, but I intentionally took this video in a last cloudy day so that for the promotional purpose, so that we can promote how good we are. And let me move on to Darugo model this time. Darugo is autonomous driving series, and if you use this kind of robots, the robot need to drive by itself, and in the case, the robot need to be capable of locating itself without GPS, because this is indoor application. So the robot must scan the room and create a map in it, and that real-time sensing data must be matched with the scanned map data to spot the location of itself. However, the space constantly changes. For example, let's say that Narugo came into a certain space at 7 o'clock and did a scanning, and then the Narugo came back later and they see some person's object that was had not existed before. So the machine need to re-understand the space. Focus on my toe. Don't care about the focus on my face actually. So Narugo is capable of reading the circumstances even if the spatial conditions changes, whether it is complex or not. This is the capability of something that my robot can also do. When a robot enters a very complex place, usually people put QR code on the floor or put some marker on the ceiling in the form of ceiling or UWV so that robots can know where they are. It costs money. Initial investment would be huge. But in the case of 20, because of good technology, it does not need additional infrastructure to locate itself. Without any problem, the machines can know where they are. Maybe if you were here yesterday, you must have seen it. At 20 booth, many journalists swarmed in, not just because they want to take a picture of me, but because Prime Minister came here and did a demonstration for him, and journalists and so many people gathered near my booth without any additional infrastructure. So we did a demonstration there. If you go there, you see the robot roaming around and whole this place, not just within booths, and the robot does not get lost and go around and without any problem. So the complexity of the space does not bother the function of my robot. So this robot moves very well even at mall, hospital, library, and logistic warehouse. So I did multiple demonstrations in different places. In case of the warehouse, the box suddenly disappears and appears so complex. And in such complex environment, the robot can drive itself very well. And it can also go into very narrow places even. I didn't expect that good, but the performance of the robot was above my expectation. If you see the demonstration on the right side, you can understand it that the robot is being teased by the researchers, but I'm gonna skip it. So self-driving, following are all possible, so you can stack up or connect one to the another like a train. And Narugo and the robot behind works differently, but the basic principle of the following is identical. So they can move goods like this in the form of train. So by using this train type, we did another round of demonstration, and you can see it on YouTube actually. So we have this self-driving capability, and we have a good robot who can move goods like this, and we did a demonstration, and we were highly received by the market. But this delivery can be used in many places, not just at warehouse, but in other places you need to deliver goods from one place to the another. For example, we are demanded by hospitals a lot. So 20 is a company specialized in self-driving. So we don't have a good understanding about those application areas like a hospital or warehouse. But the question here is do we think that we can satisfy our customers? The robot can satisfy us because it is good at self-driving, but it is questionable whether they can also satisfy my customers as well. So that's why self-driving specialized companies have a harder time to commercialize their technologies. So we decided to just focus on the areas that we are good at. For example, when you go to hospital, there are so many good players who produce the software for hospitals or other softwares for the purpose of hospital, and maybe we can provide our technology to such providers so that the two technologies can be combined seamlessly. So this is an example of such combination. our technology can be utilized as it is, and they can apply it to your business's items. So here's TARP robot platform for all of you. TARP is a company that produced the self-driving software, and this software is provided to many suppliers and manufacturers. All the service softwares are coded by your company because we provide a customized API for you. TARP allocate the work to each robot automatically, and by doing so, hundreds of thousands of robots can be controlled easily at a single location based on the Android platform. Thanks to the development of Android platform, many applications were developed and that enriched our daily life and livelihood. Now, the TARP is another platform for your own good. Under this platform, you can build anything on top of it. The robot platform TARP is for all of you who wants to connect the dots of the self-driving technologies. I think this is wonderful. The playground for self-driving providers. I made this catchphrase actually. So, self-driving technology should not be understood by you. You can just use my platform to add self-driving function to your product and technologies. So, this TARP was born, and the stability level of it is quite good, so you can use it tomorrow or today. So, having just this platform was not enough, so we decided to make a which is based on this platform. Let's say that you can use a smart application to control multiple fleets of the robots. That would be amazing. Optimal algorithm can allocate tasks to each robot. That's the key feature of my platform. I demonstrated this to the Prime Minister yesterday, and it seemed perfect on the surface, but Taurus is less than perfect, unlike TARP. So yesterday, actually, I had an issue, and my employees would not like me sharing this kind of shortcomings of my technology. But actually, the robot yesterday went to the destination, and right before the destination, it stopped. So I explained to the Prime Minister that the robot is approaching to the destination, and the robot suddenly stopped and it was fixed. But that means that we need additional stabilization. It was not because of the bug, but because there were so many people near the destination, so the the robot was not able to get closer because it did not have any communication function, so the robot was not able to tell the other person to go away. So we human beings did that instead and finished the demonstration. Anyway, Taurus application is being provided like this in the form of the smartphone application. You can create a command for a robot. Let's say that bring this mask to a person over there. You put the comment, and one robot is allocated with that task depending on the location and the battery status in an optimal way. And that robot comes to you and get mask and deliver it to a specific person. And the person check the completed button, and the robot goes to the destination. And when the robot reaches the destination, I receive some message. Then the robot leaves to do other job or go to the charging station for charging. And I'll show you another video clip like this.
저예요, 저도.
That is actually me. I'm standing there.
네, 이게 타라스를 설명하는 데는
So it was not helpful to understand Taras, but it took $10,000 to make this video. $10,000 to make this video, so I had to show you. Next is about Tinix. Let's say that you want to deliver a product to a person B, and you're person A. You need to go there and hand it over, and then need to come back. It took ages to do this job. Another person used this autonomous driving robot, and she doesn't even need to stand up. Taras transportation service. This unmanned delivery system works like this. You prepare the item to be transported, and let's deliver this product from one place to the another. And you put the elevator in the middle, whether the robot, to see whether the robot can use it or not. You use this application to start the system. You put the information including object to be delivered and the person who need to get the product. And you get the message. Everyone gets the message, whether you received it or send it. And when they confirm, the service starts. And among all the robots, depending on the battery and the location and the route, the robot that can do the job in an optimal way is selected. Maybe this robot this time. Without any additional, the robot understands and scans the neighboring environment and drives autonomously, and the machine can even use the sliding door as well, thanks to the power of the technology of my company. When a robot arrives, you put the object on the robot and you leave the work to the robot, and you can do the other works. The robot goes to the destination, and all the sensor on or in the robot is enough for the machine to avoid all the clashes with human beings or objects. When the robot arrives, the person who received it confirms it, and the robot leaves for another job. One of the important features of it is that the company can be connected to the elevator server and use the elevator even. Also, the machine can understand how many persons are inside the elevator and decide whether to use it or not. There are a narrow path and sliding glass doors to be passed, and robot even can rotate 360 degrees so that the robot can pass all the places without any problem. The robot reaches the final destination, and the job when receiving tender, and if the battery is too low, it goes to the charging station for charging. It can be used for any industrial places, including hospitals and warehouse. With Taras, your business will be expanded twice and your happiness will be tripled. Unmanned transportation service, Taras.
지금 트윈이 부스에 가시면
So if you go to my booth, you can actually see this robot. You can ask for a demonstration and we can do it. So this transportation service can be used wherever if you need to move some product from one place to the another. All you need is a cell phone. So what would be the future application of it? Since it is based on order and pick up the product, maybe we can use these machines for other purposes. Actually, there is a robot called Locus that is quite similar to our product. There are so many people moving from one direction to the another, but their movement are limited within a certain space. So the whole large movements are made by machines, and human beings are just doing a limited jobs within a certain space. They receive the product from a machine in one place and do the job, and the operator does not go beyond it. And the productivity, as I heard, was tripled or doubled. I'm not sure whether it was tripled, but at least it was doubled, I think. But what about the cost of robots? Because it shouldn't be expensive than the recruitment of human beings. Whether it is night or a day, whether it is weekdays or weekend, robots can do work. I had a chance to go to a warehouse and had a talk with a team leader working for WeMeth. And let's say that one person worked for 30 days, and he asked how much it would cost to hire a person, and it would be around 9 million won, because we need to feed him and we need to provide medical insurance, we need to give him salary. So to hire a person for 30 days, it costs 9 million won. But a single robot costs for 700,000 won. So it makes sense. I'm not saying that you need to fire human beings to replace them with robots. What I'm trying to say is that if it is too manual work, intensive work, robots sometimes can be very effective. Here is another video of using Taurus. You use the application and create job task. After creating jobs, robot starts to move. It was filmed at Goryeo Sejong campus. I had a chance to work with the Korean Postal Service, and actually yesterday, Minister of Science ICT also saw my demonstration, and it was crowded, I heard. And it was as crowded as the demonstration of yesterday, and the mission was completed beautifully. So, no matter how complex the places are, without any pre-installation of infrastructure, trainee can work and get the job done. Trainee go backward and forward, back and forth, but we programmed that the machine should go forward, then backward, unless it is necessary. It always detects the optimal route, and you can go backward if necessary. So the machine received the product like this, and you push the confirm button on the smartphone application. And my brother is teasing the robots like this on the bottom to see whether the robot can avoid my brother or not. It was filmed at Yangsan Hospital. The robot didn't have any issue of avoiding my brother. Last video, based on TARF, Taras service was launched, and it carries pallet as well in the name of Tarsel. Let me show you a video about this. Here's a loading and unloading station. That's why there is a suffix L. Thank you so much for your kind listening. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Mr. Chun Hong-seok is not able to participate in Q&A session either, so maybe if you have a question, it's now a good time to present to Mr. Chun. Okay.
It is not a question, but you talked about the WMF, and actually I'm working for WMF. But you said that it took 9 million won, but here's a precondition. Let's say that you have a 3 shift and you need to hire 3 person, and that's why I told you that it was 9 million won to hire a single person, but it was not single person. Another question, please. You said that the robot can ride on elevators, and what is the principle of working? Let's say that I'm not saying that the robot is capable of pulling an arm suddenly and use the elevator. The answer is communication. So elevator and robot can communicate each other, and the elevator is receiving some comment from the robot. I need to go the 4th floor and I'm on the 3rd floor. And the elevator says that go to the elevator unit 2. I will bring the elevator down for you. The door is open. Get in. And this is 6th floor. Go out. That's possible between the two. So what about the size of the robot? Yes, like I said, it should be limited to a certain degree. If you go out there, you can see some driving robot, Narugo 100, who is capable of carrying 100 kilogram of load, and it can also propose